Hey, so today I really just want to have a little bit of a story time slash critical thinking experience today. So if you want to hang out and talk about how relationships are affected by the languages that we speak, then stick around. So if you didn't know, I have been with my partner for 7 years now. He is Brazilian and he speaks English, Spanish, and Portuguese. I am from the United States and I speak English, Spanish, and Portuguese. However, in the first 2 years of our relationship, we pretty much only used Spanish because at the time I did not speak Portuguese and he did not speak English. And we were kind of forced into this window of we needed to communicate everything that we wanted to in our second language, where it was kind of this third middle ground language. And it really built in a depth of appreciation for being understood and the need to be very particular about the way that we communicated, because sometimes a word that we used or an expression that we used didn't quite carry the same way, right? Being able to say your sweet nothings, or to even bicker, or to go to the grocery store, or to figure out who was going to do what, right? The logistics of life. Using your second language or another language that's not your first, you're already using a lot more mental power than when you're in a relationship with someone who already speaks your first language. Like if you both were just born speaking English, or born speaking Portuguese, or when I say born, right, mother tongue, native language, you already have a massive benefit because you get to see your person just existing. And when you have to learn another language and when you have to figure out how you want to express yourself, there is sometimes some unintentional editing that happens or some unintentional limitations. And I imagine that a lot of people that are in relationships where you both come from different language backgrounds and know what this feels like when we had a disagreement, I had to figure out how to disagree in Spanish, and he had to figure out how to disagree in Spanish. And sometimes it just didn't work. I fell back into English, he fell back into Portuguese, and we just couldn't connect in the same way. And now, knowing Portuguese and him knowing English, I have been so deeply grateful for the fact that we both just knew that that was something that we needed to do. I always knew, I don't know why, but ever since I was little, I said, if I find my person and that person speaks multiple languages, if they speak English and something else, I want to learn that language. I will. I will. And I don't know what that was, but when I met an incredible, beautiful, kind, wonderful human being who spoke English, who speak Portuguese as their first language, I was like, okay, I'm learning Portuguese. Like, that's it. And I realized, I wonder how strange that is. Because I know a lot of folks in the United States in particular where the partner only speaks like one language, like they only speak English, and then the other person speaks Spanish and English, or Portuguese and English, or Urdu and English, or Arabic and English, whatever that is. And the other person, there's not really an effort made to learn the person's language, their other one, because we already speak English, so why do I need to learn yours? Like, we're perfectly understanding each other. And I kind of want to push that mindset a little bit, because understanding your partner's mother tongue gives you a sight and a view of your person at a whole different level. Sitting at a table surrounded with my partner's family members and watching him tell a story in Portuguese with all of his slang and attitude and color and texture of his particular accent, of his particular language, I get to see him as he truly is, without having to add filters, without having to worry about the change in translation, without having to worry about the cultural piece, the background of that. I have done the legwork to see him as he is. And I know that not everybody gets to do that for a million reasons, but if you have a chance, to speak your partner's mother tongue, please do it. Or try. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have the perfect pronunciation. You don't have to be phenomenal at it. But you have a chance to see your person in their purest form. Because our mother tongues are who we are. And when I'm able to look at him and I can say, Eu te amo tanto, meu bem, it hits different for him than I love you, my darling. Where if he says that to me, I'm done. I'm out. And the connection and the intimacy and the solidarity that speaking your partner's first language shows enables your relationship to reach a level that you may not get if you never learn their first language. And it may be just my own perspective. There may be many successful relationships where there's just one language that's spoken, and I'm glad that you're able to do that. But I don't know. I think that there's something so taken for granted when your partner already speaks your language and you don't do the effort to learn theirs. Like, I speak English, obviously, but my partner had to learn English to be able to understand me as I am. Because when I speak in Spanish, I speak great. I'm able to get my thoughts across. I can talk about kind of anything I want to, but I still have to think about it. And it's the same in Portuguese, as learning languages as adults is. And so when he started to make the effort to learn English and to understand my stories, and I started to learn Portuguese and to understand his stories and his voice and his jokes, we're just different people. And I have the honor and the blessing to have a trilingual household now, where if I can't think of the word in English, I just say it in Portuguese, or if I can't think of it in Spanish, I just say it in English. And we just get to bounce across things, the world around us. And it's such a blessing. So if you have a chance, it only took me 8 minutes to tell you, but if you have a chance, do it. Because seeing your person in their element, there's nothing better. And there's no better way to show them how seen they are than to choose to take the journey to learn their mother tongue. It'll learn a lot of brownie points. And it will be an incredible journey to go on together. So, I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you have someone that you love, whether it be romantic or familial or platonic or whatever it is, and you know how to say something kind in their language, go for it. Because it will probably brighten their day. I'll talk to you soon.